Welcome back to the number crunching series, and today we are looking at wages. Okay, so if you haven't, please click the card and watch video number 1 in the number crunching series. The card's at the top right of the screen. And to get a baseline of what we're working with, I am roughly doing this on how I ran my company this year. So I have populated the revenue fields from the first video to match similar to what my company did in 2017. So I have 100 customers per crew, 2 mowing crews. So they are generating $300,000 with this information right here as the price per cut and the number of cuts per year. On the spray side, we have about 250 customers, same $50 application, 6 per year. $300 customer value, $75,000 of revenue, just 1 crew there. So $75,000 spray revenue, $300 mow revenue. So we're at $375,000 in total revenue. And guys, this is low for me compared to the past several years. I did 520 in 2016. I did 643 in 2015, and I did 493,000 in 2014. But I got to a point where I saw diminishing returns with my time involved in the business to my compensation, so I made changes so I can make more dollars per hour, free up a lot of time in my schedule, and allow me to pursue other interests I have in life, like lawn crack. I love making these videos. Okay, so now that we got the baseline out of the way, we're going to come down to wages. And please remember, you guys can customize this to however you want. If you need me to make some changes, I'm happy to do it. I want this to benefit as many people as possible. So on my mow crews are 2-man crews. So we're going to say on this crew, I'm paying the crew leader 23% of the revenue they produce, and the crew member is getting 19% of the revenue they produce. So real quickly, we'll take a look at what's going on right here. So how long is your working season in weeks? So in Cincinnati, where I live, we work for about 39 weeks out of the year. That's about 3/4 of the year. We don't do snow removal, so we're not working over the winter. So you need to populate this field. All yellow fields are populated by you. All purple are populated by the equations in the cell fields. So 39 weeks is important to populate this field right here. And then crew leader 23%, crew member 19%. So that is pulling from revenue per crew. So that's how this number is determined. So B8 times B26. So we go B8 right there, B26 right here. So it's taking the percent pay versus the revenue of that crew. That's how I like to pay my guys. I feel it's super fair. So this will tell you the wages per year. So my crew, basically the guy running the trimmer made $28,500 in roughly 9 months out of the year. Guys, this is almost a $40,000 per year job. You got to understand our industry seasonal. So, I mean, these wages are very respectable. I really like paying my guys well to keep them on board so I don't have to do as much. I've had issues with employees in the past, and I just decided I'm paying them well, treating them like men, and letting them take more responsibility, feel like they have a ownership interest in the company almost. They develop relationships with the customers, and it's just a beautiful thing. So I know a lot of guys are still not paying on percentage pay, so I wanted to show you the workaround here. There's several workarounds. So wages per year. So if you know you paid your crew leader, say you pay your crew leader $30,000 per year. Well, let's just try, what if we put 0.2 in here? Boom, nailed it on the dot. So that's how you can work around that. So even though if you just have your year-end numbers, you can just play around with the percentages to match what you actually paid your crew members, and the sheet will still get you very valid information. But I'm going to keep this more realistic to what I did. So crew 1, we're saying 23%, 19%. On crew 2, we'll go ahead and say 22% and 18%. So you can notice the subtle differences in how much it costs the company to pay the employees. So I didn't have a third crew, so I'm going to leave this empty. I didn't have a third crew member, so I'm going to leave those cells empty. It's fine to leave cells empty in this sheet. So now we're going to come down to the spray tech, and I paid him 33% of what he did. So he made $25,000. Honestly, guys, this $250 is just not enough to fill out a spray schedule. So he was working, on average 30 to 35 hours a week, all season long for 9 months. So, take that into consideration when you see how much he actually made. I still think it's a respectable amount. And then I played the office person role in my business. So I already played around with this because I paid myself $775 every week of the year this year. I also took bonuses, or I forget what you call them, contributions or distributions or whatever, as being the owner of my company. We're a LLC taxed as an S Corp. So I can pay myself W-2 wages, and I can also give myself these distributions. So distributions are taxed at a lower rate, and that is why I choose to do some of my earnings as distributions as opposed to wages. So there's a lot when it gets into the numbers, guys. This is what's going to make or break your business. So here we go. So we come down and you get grand total wages. So I'm looking at paying out in actual W-2 wages $188,000 this year. And I mean, that pretty much wraps up the wages section. So far we've completed revenue. How many customers do you have? What's the average price? How many times do you do the service? How many crews do you have? Break down your revenue per service. So here we did it for spray. And then we're coming down here and we're looking at, how much did the guys make on the cruise. So it's there's a little bit of extra information, like what you can expect their gross paycheck to be for the 39 weeks that they're working. I mean, these are pretty good numbers. I have an obscure view on money, so it's hard for me to say what's what. For me to say what's a large amount of money, I don't know. $100 million, that's a lot of money. I think a lot of people say $1 million is a lot of money. I'm thinking big, grandiose, global. That's how I think, and that's how I live my life. So that's about it. So I'm trying to keep these in bite-sized chunks. So that is how you populate this. If you are paying on percentage pay, if you're paying by the hour, just find the percentage that correlates to how much you paid that crew member, team member that, in 2017. This is a perfect time to look at your year-end numbers. You should have a QuickBooks file or a Xero or a FreshBooks or at least Excel sheet. Hopefully you're making payments with like a business credit card, business check, so you can easily track how much money is coming and going. I try to stay away from cash so I can clearly see where everything is going. But that is how this portion works. It takes account to show you individually mow crew, spray crew, your office, and then your total. So I hope you like it. Until the next video, keep making money.